you should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. We're gonna get to the other stuff here in a second. But what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So, before we do anything else, just vibe.
Double up. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time over us. I'm double up. I ain't telling no lies, I just, I ain't telling no lies, I just,
Bye.
4, 3, 2, that's time. I ride to you, that money, my dreams, come true, my life, in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah. Everything is vibration. Welcome to the Leo Moon Vibrational Therapy. But we also have UrAnUs, CaZiMi with the Sun in Taurus. So you gotta make it worth it.
Turn 7 to a 14. 14 to a whole thing. Lord knows it's a cold game. Switch up when you hold, man. Big body take both lanes. Backseat on propane. All black fire gold chains. Young rich nigga bossed up on his own, man. My new shit sound like a soul train. Took you with him, double cold train. ThErApY by the rope chain. RC we for show bang. Tiny lopes and that go crazy. What you know about the dope game? Was you born in the 80s? Did your mama smoke cocaine? Have you ever seen the whole thing? But you drove to the streets cause you grew up on show chains.
Fire.
Fucked up on the dope bags. It remind me when these rappers drop guns and they clothes change. At the port with the low fade. I was standing in front of Knicks with my sack for the whole day. Drive-bys, that was road rage. You park and hop out, learn levels to the soul thing. Old school play the OJ, trying to make a slow change. Mama still slaving for a low wage.
Fire.
Double up. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time over us. Double up.
Cynthia Renee.
I ain't telling no lies, I just...
Hey.
I ain't telling no lies, I just... 5, 4,
3, 2,
that's 1. I ride to you, that money, my dreams, come true, my life,
yeah.
in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah. That's that Leo Moon vibration.
Who knew? Who knew? I leave it behind if you let me. I'd rather drown just to hold you down. I'd jump off the ledge if you with me. I'll bring you up, you just let me down. Let me down. Your mom money in tank too. Let me down.
Yeah. And if you haven't smiled yet today, now would be the perfect time to do so.
Yeah.
Now this is that Sun conjunct UrAnUs and Taurus vibration.
I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Yeah. I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Had a friend almighty God, they let my dog out the kennel. When you get it straight up by the mud, you can't imagine this shit. I've been pulling up in the drop tops with the baddest bitches. Young nigga been focused on my check. Got a new coupe wrapped around my neck. Trying to put the water on my potato.
Yeah.
I got killers to the left of me. We was lurking on on her. Ain't show no mercy on her. We was going back to back. We put a curfew on her. It was dark clouds on us, but that was perfect for us. You know you always crash and burn, but it was working for us. Let my tent to V12, double check the details. Gotta cross my T's and dot my I's or I can't sleep well. Millions off of retail, once again I prevail. Knew that shit was over from the day I dropped my pre-sale. Hold up, let the beat build. See me in the street still. I've been fighting battles up a steep hill. They gave my road dog 12, it was a sweet deal. And I've been riding solo trying to rebuild. Look, I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Had to pray to Almighty God, they let my dog out the kennel. When you get it straight up out the mud, you can't imagine this shit.
Just vibe.
Up in the drop tops with the baddest bitches. Young nigga been focused on my check. Got a new coupe wrapped around my neck. Trying to put the water on my potato. I got killers to the left of me.
Walk his cat out.
No condition. Would you ever catch me slipping? Motorcaded shooters plus the Maybach chauffeur driven. If they catch me with it, won't send me off to prison. Judge ain't sympathizing. Court don't show forgiveness. Engine in the Lambo drowning out the music. Sip Dior with the flowers, 5 gold Cubans. Champagne while I shop, hope I splurge foolish. Closing escrow twice this month, both commercial units. Damn, I wish my nigga Fast was here. How you died 30-something after banging all them years?
We gon' vibe, and then I'm gonna tell you what's going on cosmically.
We just embrace the only life we know. If it was me, I'd tell you, nigga, live your life and grow. I tell you, finish where we started, reach the heights, you know. Gas the V12 to the pipe and smoke. I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Had to pray to Almighty God, they let my dog out the kennel. When you get it straight up out the mud, you can't imagine this shit. I've been pulling up in the drop tops with the baddest bitches. Young nigga been focused on my check. Got a new coupe wrapped around my neck. Trying to put the water on my potato. I got killers to the left of me. Another $1 million bill, that's just some regular shit. See my granny on the jet, some shit I never forget. Next day we flew to Vegas with my Boomer Connects. We break bread, we ain't new to success. Play music and best. Enterprise, take lucrative steps.
What's up, Forrest Palmer?
As a youth in the set, learn the game, you a student at best. But it's a couple things you can expect. Just like money, no money, niggas shooters respect. Other shooters, we was both doing my crew on your neck. I'm on the freeway and
just vibe. We're gonna get to the other stuff here in a second.
With the blues on the deck. Now, I hope everybody's doing well. And we're not going to be here for long today, maybe 2 hours tops. But I'm going to get this vibe in, and then we're going to talk about what's going on cosmically. That means I'm going to give you an energetic forecast. So, just chill. Because this vibe right here, this is 1 in a million. See, we have Uranus, the planet of unpredictability, electricity, technology, freedom, and the sun conjunct to each other. Now, the moon is in Leo. Well, the thing is, to look at what's going on with that, you see that the sun rules Leo. So then you want to see what the sun's doing. Well, the sun is conjunct Uranus and Taurus. So from this right here, confidence is what pays off. And this vibe right here, it's 1 in a million. Yeah, real shit. A million. Got my mind on $1 million before I turn 26. But that's just what it costs for that condo at the bridge. I got this European
Beast.
European bitch. Ever seen an African in the European bridge? I got my top off in traffic playing this. Got a bit. Police hot cause my operation's legit. Suck my dick. All my life they been shooting. Thank God they missed. I'm convinced that I'm here for a reason. It don't make sense how they miss. All my niggas is gone, but I still exist. I exited, so I got on my knees and I told him this. I repent, run it up.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
Run it up. I got my first 100,000 before I turned 22.
Yeah.
And then I went to jail for some shit I did not do. You niggas think it's rap until bullets make them back up. No, I'm in them movies, bro, but I am not no actor. Way before these contracts, I knew I was all that. Then she say that muscle if you ask her where that bomb at. She don't even smoke weed, she's just high on contact. Way before I launched that, I understood the concept. Got it from my bro. Never drove a 6-4. Used to push that cut dog, but now I try that pencil. I don't got no girlfriend,
Cause baby, I'm against though.
We say that we just friends, but really know that it's more.
Yeah. This is the vibe. This is that Sun conjunct Uranus and Taurus, Leo moon vibe. Yeah. Something different.
That's how I know. That's how I know.
Yeah.
That's how I know. 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 That's how I know that I was different. That's how I know. That's how I know.
Yeah. That's how I know. That's how I know.
That's how I know. That's how I know. That's how I know.
That's how I knew that I was different.
I thought it, I dreamt it, I said it, I did it, I meant it, I taste it, I love it, I need it, I want it, more of it, I feel it, I'm got it, I'm good, I'm genius, I'm proud, cheese grits at 4 seasons, fresh squeezing, no stresses, no reason, toast champagne to achievements. I think we should dive off the deep end, take you on vacation every weekend. Look, I be up at 6, niggas sleep in. I be at the Ritz bucket G-Pen.
Mine too, bro.
Them other niggas soft, I'm the cement. 410, Bonnie and Clyde, we can beat in. These rich nigga fools I believe in. Manifest, get me blessings, and that's how I know. That's how I know, yeah, that's how I know. That's how I know, that's how I know. That's how I know, that's how I know.
That's how I knew that I was different.
That's how I know. 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 That's how I knew that I was different though. Break fast, it's a different flow. Different deals get different dough. Yeah, my life doing different shit. Catch a flight through my shit, hit a lick and go. Oh, now I got a different goal. Cause I reached all my overs. I be feeling like somebody reached out and chose us. I be killing life, nigga, we got it rolling. We popping bullshit. Standing on the couches with my whole clique. I keep me on some 1994 shit. Champagne flutes, watching go click. Afterwards, baby, fuck the whole clique. West Coast shit. On the master to these classics, death row shit. So when that check come, I get more chips. All money in, I went and got my own shit, nigga. That's how I know. 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 That's how I know.
That's how I knew that I was different.
That's how I know. 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 That's how I knew that I was different. And it's like, you know.
Cherie 1010. What's cracking? Let's jam one more. But we gotta make it great. And then I'm gonna talk about what's going on cosmically. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tryna go down. Down isn't great. Every night I get on my knees and pray that I will go down.
Yeah.
I will go down. Yeah. Legendary moves, leader of my crew. Heavy is the head that wear the crown, that shit true. Do it like Nip Hustle, that's to fill some big shoes.
This is that Leo Moon vibe.
When the fucking wrist do. Smoking all that shit though. Run away from my pain, rosemary on my temples. Heart is good for migraines. Solo in my benzo. Exit off the highway. Solitary thoughts like how to reinvest my side change. Tryna go down, down is a great. Every night I get on my knees and pray. I will go down.
I will go down.
So many niggas doing time. Who are you and I? To play with it, it's a blessing, so reach for the sky. Pick up shady off the block and real smoke and drive. Politicking on the block to make it multiply. Keep some bitches on the team from the other side. Keep at least a pound of green, motherfucking right. 30 hours in the spot, going overtime. Then we pull up to the Fox and go on the grind. You know this life, you gotta code design. How you go from eating lobster tails at Ocean Prime? The chain to a smoker and throw it on the line. When them gates close, keep open. It ain't no force in this world like a focus drive. You gotta
Sci-fi fantasy girl, how you doing?
You make your dream realer and you make your team better. You wake your game up and you make your scheme better. You say this time, I'll be like the last time, But this time, I'ma do it like my last time. I'ma go with my nigga.
Yeah.
Put my name in the stars, my nigga. But I gotta pray to God, my nigga. Like I will go down. To be legendary, yeah. To be legendary. Be legendary, yeah. Who don't wanna be legendary, yeah.
Smile right now.
Wanna be legendary, yeah. Wanna be legendary. I'm the show that go down. I'm the show that go down. I'm the show that go down.
Make sure y'all hit the like button as you come in the door. Now, let's talk about what's going on cosmically, if you will. Because, first of all, we have the sun sitting at 23 degrees of Taurus. And hey, with the sun in Taurus, there's going to be an increased focus on the material world and material things. Yeah. And even for people who don't really love nature, people are going to be infatuated with the maturing splendor of the springtime. Now, people are actually going to be in love with beauty all the way around right now. See, Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is also in Taurus. Matter of fact, the Sun and Venus are still loosely conjunct to each other. So, this is about beauty, value. This is about self-worth. This right here is where you reestablish your belief in yourself. This is also where you don't waste your time on no bullshit. It's gotta be worth it, baby. Now, in the historic words of Missy Elliott, if it's worth it, you can work it. See, the sun is also CaZiMi with Uranus, or Uranus is CaZiMi with the sun. Now, the sun moves faster, so you would say that Uranus is CaZiMi, but the sun is what's driving this. And what CaZiMi means is in the heart of the king being the sun. That means whatever's CaZiMi is within 1 degrees conjunction with the sun. And that's emblazing it. You hear me? And this is the sun in Uranus. So in its own right, this is electric. This is effervescent. This right here is where you just gotta make it worth it. And with this being also loosely conjunct to Jupiter, and the sun is actually applying this conjunction. Matter of fact, it's only 4 degrees, so it's actually applying into a pretty tight conjunction. But with this also conjunct to Jupiter in Taurus, I'm telling you once again, what a beautiful time to make some motherfucking money. Yes, we're about spiritual growth, but there are still bills that need to be paid. And you ain't gotta work harder. No, no, no. Work smarter, motherfucker. Make things work for you. This is the power of accumulation in motion. This is patience and determination paying off. Yeah. This is where you hit on the parlay. If there is a time to go buy a lottery ticket, this is the time to go buy your ass a lottery ticket. All my clients always ask me that. Should I go buy a lottery ticket? Yes. Today, go buy a motherfucking lottery ticket. But remember, we all can't win. So this is the perfect time for you to think outside of the box and make you some motherfucking guap. I'm talking guala. I'm trying to be a baller and a shot caller. I am. And I've been grinding. I've been having a little boom in business, and that's helped. But I've also had a boom in bills. So it is what it is. Now, when we see the sun conjunct Uranus, there's just a light shining on expressing everybody's individuality. So why not get paid for what you do that's unique from everybody else? Why not establish a belief in yourself that pays off tangibly? See, that's what you need to do with this energy. I've never stole anybody's knowledge slogan because this channel and this business has been established for years, moron. And this is trademarked and copywritten. So who's your boy Kevin again? So I might need to send him some paperwork. Huh? Huh? Oh, I thought I heard a hater come on here lying on my channel. Nah, this is uniquely mine. This is priceless knowledge of self. It can't be older than me, and it doesn't matter. Now, tell Kevin he can kiss my ass. Back to where we were. With the sun conjunct to Uranus, also conjunct to Jupiter, there's some things that can develop very quickly. And this is Taurus. So this could be some money situations that come up very quickly, some opportunities that present themselves to you just like that. Or you could have some unexpected expenses that come up just like that. And what's cool is I've seen this pay off not from astrology, but from my numerology readings. I was in a group chat on the new moon in Taurus, and I happened to start doing numerology readings, just helping out some people in there. But they became so enamored with my skills and my unique gift for numerology that they started suggesting that I do it in other spaces. So they took it to our group, and then I started doing more numerology readings for people in the group, and then boom, business was booming. Yeah. Just like that. And it just so happens that in that group that I'm a part of, I'm not the only numerologist, but I'm the only one that does it professionally. And so that just opened up a whole new lane for me. And that was beautiful in its own right. And speaking of that group, for all of y'all who are on Facebook, go join Star. Yeah, you know who we are. That's the Society of Tarot and Astrology Readers. But let me warn you, this is a shit posting group. So you're gonna have to check your emotions at the door because they will get hurt. And if you show any sign of weakness, you're gonna get dogpiled. And another thing, that is a goddess-driven community. So I'm telling you now, it's not a safe space for a man. Any male in that community is gonna get turned on at some point. All right? They try to turn on me all the time, but I'm the king. Yeah. I'm the king of it. So I never make a thing of it. I stay above it. That's what it was, cuz. Now, what else can I say? Well, with the sun conjunct to Uranus, or really the sun conjunct to both Jupiter and Uranus, you just got to do your own unique thing and watch it pay off for you. Because when you see the sun in a conjunction with Jupiter, first understand that there's a light shining on abundance. All right? And opportunities are abound. And so optimistic energy and enthusiasm are going to infuse everybody with the ray of hope. And that ray of hope could actually pay off in tangible ways. I'm talking about fiscally. Yeah. Fly. And understand everything is vibration. Mm-hmm. 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 See, before I go any further, let me go ahead and put y'all up on game. See, this is the Vibe Tribe. We're here to raise the vibration with this knowledge and information. And it ain't gonna be for everybody. And that's okay. Because we're not thirsty for subscribers or hungry for attention. No, there are already thousands of us all over the world. This is the Vibe Tribe. I am the chief. This is priceless knowledge of self. You hear me? If you come in and expose yourself as a troll or you come in on some fuck shit, you're gonna be banned immediately. I'm talking about exiled expeditiously. And there's no hate involved, it's only love. That just means we understand this isn't for you. And we can't allow you to fuck up the vibe because the vibration is everything. So you'll be able to observe, you just won't be able to be a part of this. And it's not like you did it or I did it. This was the universe's way of separating us. You hear me? That's what that was. Now, before I go any further on that, the only person who's gonna be posting a Cash App in here is me. Don't post your motherfucking Cash App in my comments again. Now, if you want to hit my Cash App right there that's pinned at the top of the chat, you can do that. And once you do that, we might can discuss how long I might let you leave yours up. But other than that, hey, I'm here to make it pay what it weigh. Yeah. Life is a bitch. I'm talking about a big fat bitch. And you got to make it pay what it weighs. Now, the next thing we need to talk about is the moon. Yeah. And the moon is sitting at 6 degrees of Leo. So what is that? That's a feeling of flamboyance. This is where your emotions are expressed more dramatically. People might even be a lot more playful or childlike right now. And some of us might just be playing a role. You hear me? This is where things get exaggerated. So be careful on your displays right now, because you might have to take a step back and ask yourself, is this how I really feel, or am I just pandering to a motherfucking audience? That's the question with that. And there's just going to be a more dramatic and loyal emotional nature that puts itself into place inside of us. And people are going to have an enhanced need to feel respected and cherished today. I know I do. Yeah, you're going to have to respect me. And if you ain't going to respect it, try and check it. Yeah. And I saw earlier on an app, as I was just kind of scrolling through, it said, with the moon in Leo, emotional hubris could become apparent if you perceive that your ego needs are not being met. And I think that is an extravagant expression, but incredibly accurate too. And so when it boils down to it, people just want to love and feel loved. People want to enjoy this time right now. You hear me? And this is actually a generous time. The sun is conjunct to Uranus, or Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. The moon is in Leo. So this is actually a very generous time. People are going to give of themselves, and they're going to be generous with their possessions. But people want to feel appreciated in the process. This is also a time with the moon in Leo where people want to feel special. Now, what's interesting is the moon is trine to Mars and opposite to Pluto. And so with the moon trine to Mars, this is where pride comes into the mix. And so this right here is where you could get into a scrap with somebody. And I'm not just talking about a verbal altercation, but maybe even a whole scrap if you feel disrespected today. Or if you feel like somebody is looking over you. That could be an issue. And the confidence that we have plays out into courage. And that courage plays out in all types of ways. But right here, do understand that this can be dynamic. People are going to act on how they feel. And it's going to be a lot more dramatic or exaggerated than usual. So, be careful. Be very, very careful. Hold on, I gotta send a text real fast. Just a second, my bad. Now, what else could I say about the moon? Well, I think I've said it all. So, the next thing we got to look at is Mercury. And Mercury is soon going to be at 28 degrees of Aries. So we have about a day and a half of Mercury still being in Aries, and then things are going to slow down. But for right now, things are developing very quickly. People's mental energy is sped up, and people's thoughts are expressed in a more dynamic way than usual. And it's also possible that you're going to encounter yourself and other people. All right. And that's something that could be an issue for some of us, especially if we feel like there's an attitude involved. Yeah. And another thing, that there is more of a tendency to argue with Mercury in Aries. I know I've been like that since Mercury's been in Aries, and we've had Mercury in Aries for way too long now because of that retrograde. So this right here is it's really intense in the effect that it's irritative or irritating for some. And people's intuition is on point, and people are worried about the point they're trying to impart. So a lot of the times they're not hearing what anybody else has to say, and they're not considering what everybody else has going on. And that's fine, but you have to be ready from the conflict that comes from that, because just like you're like that, other motherfuckers are gonna be too. That's the truth. Just like you're like that, other motherfuckers are gonna be too. So what you gonna do? And Mercury's not making any major aspects. It's soon to come into a square with Pluto, but we're not there yet. That'll be tomorrow or the next day. And that's what that was, cuz Licious Booty, I believe that. People are going to be a lot more assertive right now. And so they're going to speak on things that they normally would keep inside. And it's kind of like they have to. And that's empowering, but it can also be conflicting. Now, I think we can talk about Venus. Because Venus is at home in Taurus here. So with Venus in its home sign of Taurus, there's definitely a greater emphasis on obtaining security through material gain, and sensual pleasures are going to be a lot more important to us. But there is a thing where we place value on people and situations. And so you start to assess things in terms of worth. And that could be a good thing and a bad thing. You have to be careful of assessing people with material worth or value. And there's going to be an appetite for all forms of physical gratification. And that's not just sexual or sensual. You can also see that where people are going to love eating a lot more right now. And people are going to love seeing beautiful things. And people are going to love affection as a whole. But as I've been telling y'all, there could also be some jealousy or some possessiveness with Venus and Taurus. Or there could be some greed or some stinginess. So that is what it was. And it was what it was, cuz yeah. That next brings us to the fact that Venus is sextile to Saturn. And man, with Venus sextile to Saturn, in certain ways, people are going to get reality checks about stuff, especially about their relationships or their money situation. You might realize you've been fooling yourself, or you might realize that, hey, damn, there's actually an opportunity here that's presenting itself. There's also a thing with Venus sextile to Saturn where you can see your creativity really, really pay off for you. You have to channel it. You got to take everything you're feeling, the worry, the stress, the vacillation, take it all and make something with it. Make artwork out of the process of life. Yeah. But this is a sextile, so this is a great day to make a commitment to something with Venus sextile to Saturn. Commit to your creativity. Recommit to your partner. Recommit to your own happiness. Recommit to finding faith in the process. It'll pay off for you. That's the vibe. Now, I believe Mars is at 10 degrees of Aries now. And Mars is at home in Aries. And so, with Mars in Aries, life is going to speed up significantly for everybody. And people are going to be a lot more impatient and impulsive. And at the same time, people's actions are going to be greater or emphasized with the more courage than usual. And there's going to be a greater amount of conviction. Now, people's urge to assert themselves is going to be a lot more prominent right now too, and that can cause all types of issues. And this is dangerous. This is Mars in Aries. People will fight you. People will shoot you, stab you, bite you. Now, on the sexual side of this is raw. This is where people can act impulsively without considering the consequences. Yeah, they just want it. They just want that shit. What you gonna do? And there's this energy that's pointing towards starting something. Be careful. Be very careful. Now, there is a certain aggression with this. There is a certain savage energy with Mars in Aries. With Mercury still in Aries. And tomorrow, Mercury will be at 29 degrees of Aries. So that right there, it's going to push certain situations to come to a head. You have Chiron in Aries forcing situations. Saying, hey, fuck it, let's confront it. Yeah. Let's confront that shit. Now, Jupiter is at 27 degrees of Taurus. So we actually only have about 2 more weeks of Jupiter being in Taurus. And then Jupiter is going to go into Gemini. And that's a whole different energy. But with Jupiter still here in Taurus and us reaching those final degrees, this is where you have to make the most out of the process. This is where you have to be grateful for the process. This is where you got to be patient with yourself. This is where you got to let things accumulate. Yeah. Let it accumulate. Stack up. This is where you enjoy the sensual pleasures. This is a philosophy of abundance. Is you about that? Yeah, I am. But you have to be careful. You got to make sure you don't get greedy. You got to make sure you don't get gluttonous. You got to make sure that you don't get stuck. Yeah. Stay generous. Stay patient. Stay paid. Stay generous. Stay patient. Stay paid. Now, this is where you stay cool, calm, and you collect. This is where you chill and be patient, but never neglect. No. This is where you come correct. You feel that? This is where you clock a check. This is where you take respect. This is where you let it come to you, no need to break your neck. This is where you break the bank. Something like that. This is Jupiter and Taurus. And with Jupiter conjunct to Uranus still, hey, you just gotta be patient with yourself. You just gotta assert your individuality. This is where you just gotta do your unique thing and watch it pay off. Yeah. Just vibe. Just vibe. Now, the next thing we got to talk about is Saturn. And Saturn is sitting at 17 degrees of Pisces. And so, with Saturn sitting here, what you got to understand is you ain't no victim. Life is not only happening to you. Even if you're going through some hard and rough shit, there's still some other people that are going through worse. And it's all just a part of the process. So you have to find a way to process it healthily. There's just some things in life that you can't ignore or escape. There's certain things you can't avoid. And this is where we're at right now. And it's not about what's going on externally. It's how you process it internally. That's everything. Perception of the situation is everything. That's the truth. Now, here's the thing. In order to find out if it's real, you gotta face it. Do you hear me? There's certain stuff that you've been worried about that ain't even worth it. There's certain situations with other people that ain't even real. There's situations in your life where you've been fooling yourself, but how do you know unless you try to deal with it? There's certain things right now that you just have to deal with. And it can feel like the universe is conspiring against you because there's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening at once. But it's because you've let it stack up. You've let it fester. You've let it build up. And that's what it is. And it's not about the externals, because life is just doing what life does. Do you hear me? Life is just doing what life does. People get sick, people die, people hurt people, people lie. There's all types of shit that goes on. Hold on, I knocked something over. It's not about the external situation. It's about how you deal with it. That's the truth of the matter. So how you gonna deal with it? That's the truth. There's certain shit that you just gotta face. And understand it's just a process. You yourself are just a process. You're thousands of processes that make up hundreds of systems. We're just a process of billions of processes that make up a bullshit ass system, a projected reality. That's a whole different conversation. Damn, where is that light coming from? Just a second. I don't know where this light is coming from. Anyway, I gotta text my wife. Where is that light coming from? I don't know where that light is coming from. Do y'all see this light right here? It's fucking with me. Y'all want to do it like that? That's better. Oh, hold up. I gotta send my lady some money. Send y'all's lady some money right now. I'm loving this vibe. Look, man, Saturn in Pisces is just karma. But it's not karma in the fact that this is consequences. It's just karma in the fact that this is the process of life playing out. There's certain shit you just got to deal with. If you leave things undone, then it's going to come back up. And this is where we're at now. If you ignore and avoid things, there's only so long that it's going to be a positive thing, because eventually it's going to keep coming back. Sometimes the problems add up, and that's why you feel like there's an accumulation now, because you didn't deal with it when you needed to. So now everything's coming in at once. And it's not because the universe is out to get you. It's not because this is consequences of your actions. No. This is consequences of your neglect. If you don't do your laundry, the shit piles up. And then when it finally comes to you not having any clothes, you got to do something. Or walk around funky. And that's just uncivilized. So yeah. Anyway, just deal with your shit. And life is gonna be better when you look at things from a different perspective. A lot of people are waiting for something to happen to make them feel better. They're waiting for something to happen that changes the dynamic. But really, you just gotta look at it differently. You just gotta look at it differently. It's perspective and projection. Just like you can sit there and worry yourself sick, literally, you can also make a situation better by thinking better about it. So it starts with how you deal with things. It's not about what's happening, it's about how you deal with it. Because things are always gonna happen. Plain and simple. You're a process of life. That's just what it is. Things are always gonna happen. You gotta figure out a way to deal with it. And that's what Saturn in Pisces is trying to teach you right now. This is about emotional maturity. People get so caught up in the bullshit that they don't realize Pisces is water. This is emotion, and it's not just your shit. It's the mood of the moment and the temperature of the times. It's what's going on in your environment. It's the whole fucking world. So for a lot of people, it feels like their world is crashing down or the weight of the world is on their shoulders. Now, the thing about the weight of the world is, it's only as heavy as you perceive it to be. And weight is relative to strength. Remember that. 150 pounds is deadly heavy to some people. But there are some guys that can go and pick that shit up with one hand and throw it around like it ain't shit. You got Rey Mysterio and you got the Big Show. Be the Big Show. You hear me? Licious Booty, I'll pick you up. I'll freestyle with you in midair, baby. But I have a hernia. I just realized, see how I get so bold that I remember, damn, I got this motherfucking hernia. I can't do shit. But it's all about perspective. I could if I wanted to, but it just probably wouldn't be healthy for me to do. My whole motherfucking guts might come out my motherfucking pelvis. But I'll get you up there. That shit crazy. Super crazy. Now, with Uranus at 23 degrees of Taurus, look, man, this is not a stable financial environment. Because of the nature of the way that the world works right now, it's just not stable. People's opinions are too powerful. Something can be wildly valuable one day and be worth nothing the next. And it's because of technology, and it's because of the power of the people. All of that is Uranus-centric. See, without going too deep into all of the stupid beef shit, Drake was worth a lot more than Kendrick Lamar 3 weeks ago. That's not the case anymore. Not to the fans, not to musical platforms, not to record labels, not to themselves. And nothing has changed. There's nothing new that Drake did that, because all the stuff that Kendrick said about him, people have known about that for years. There's been videos going on about that for years. It's just something crazy happened, and now his career is changed forever. Doesn't mean it's dead, it's just changed forever. This beef, which no one would have expected to do this because neither one of them are battle rappers, also made Kendrick have the most popular song on a streaming platform ever. Is it appropriate? It's up to the consumer. But it is what it is. Kendrick is not top 3. That's just perception right now. See how it's crazy that nobody would have said that until he made a diss song about Drake. Not top 3. It's nowhere near top 3. He's a great lyricist, but he's nowhere near top 3. He's not even top 10. And it's not because I'm biased, it's because it's the truth. That's the way it is. I did a poll. Here's another example. I did a poll 3 days before this beef started. Or really, it was during the beef, but it was before Not Like Us dropped. And I said, which sign lies the most? And the answer was unequivocally Gemini. Now, all of a sudden, Geminis are the truth. Now you can't tell nobody Gemini ain't the truth. And Gemini is a lie. It's hilarious. You see when people had the Stanley Cup fad. You see when Shannon Sharp has this thing going on. And now, if you want to get likes and attention, what you got to do is go at Shannon Sharp. Kendrick is not top 3. I'll block you for saying that bullshit. Kendrick is not top 10. Kendrick Lamar is not top 10. He's a motherfucking lie. Great rapper, but he's a motherfucking lie. And he's not on an Andre 3000's level. He's not on an Eminem's level. He's not on Jay-Z's level. He's not on Lil Wayne's level. Not even close. Nas. I could go on and on and on. Great rapper. But not top 3. Not even close. And if you were technical and you knew anything about hip-hop, you would actually see from his cadence that he copies Eminem's style. He just is a black dude. Kendrick Lamar bit Eminem's whole style. Eminem is just infinitely more lyrically inclined and talented. Go listen to the song Love Game with both Eminem and Kendrick, and then you'll be like, damn, they do rap the same. And they're on the same record label. They both come from Dr. Dre. People just didn't pay attention to that. No, Kendrick is an awesome rapper. I'm not taking anything from him. He's just not top 3. But people are so caught up in the moment and what's trending. And that's that Neptune and Pisces shit that we'll talk about here in a second. But people get so caught up in what's trending and what's popular, they forget about what's right and what's real. You hear me? People have lost sight of what's right and what's real. That's the truth. Great rapper, not top 3. But that's beside the point. When it comes to material value, Kendrick Lamar is worth a lot more now than he was just a few weeks ago. He had money, but now his trajectory has completely changed. Drake's trajectory has completely changed. As the time that UrAnUs has been in tours, you look at Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has always had a big personality ever since he's played in the NFL, and probably before that. Yeah, he was on Skip and Shannon. Yeah, he was on First Take, but he's now popular because of his Cat Williams interview and because of him doing Nightcap with Ocho Cinco. It's something completely unexpected. But he could say one thing wrong, and all of that shit will come crumbling down. Plain and simple. He could say one thing wrong, and all of that shit could come crumbling down. That's UrAnUs and Taurus. It's not stable, but it is profitable. And if you can be careful with it, you can make it prosperous. And being careful, I don't mean doing something safe. I mean doing something unique. And man, there are so many ways you can make money. I don't know how many white folks I've seen on Facebook Reels and on TikTok doing YMCA hip-hop dance class moves. And they think they really doing something. And everybody over there, oh yeah, and they making money doing that shit. You got TikTok Mama 7, who's from an old white lady from Houston. All she does is act a fool everywhere, like which was what she thinks acting black is, and that's what's crazy. And I'm getting on y'all's ass about this shit because y'all made this shit cool. She acts a fool everywhere and acts as ghetto as possible, and y'all be like, "Oh, Granny invited to the cookout." Like, man, that's some stupid ass shit. Because what she's doing is perceiving what she believes to be as acting black. She's not acting a fool to her, she's acting hood to her. And y'all have made that valuable. It's crazy. But there's also things where the metaphysical arena is something that's profitable, whether it be astrology or numerology or healing work or spell work, or I mean, there's all types of stuff to do. Tarot. You have so many people that have turned their social media profile professional, and they're getting paid by sharing memes. All they're doing is sharing other people's shit. You got people that do DoorDash and Grubhub and Uber and Lyft and Post-its and GoPuff, and they making bank. You got platforms like OnlyFans where, hell, celebrities now have OnlyFans. Shit, your Hollywood career is on a downturn, create you an OnlyFans and show out. You have athletes who now do podcasting. And so you see how all of that completely changes the dynamics. You see how all of that makes things drastically different in the financial arena. There's so many different ways to make money. You can have all types of different hustles, but it's not stable. Because once you do something and people find out you're making money doing it, everybody else is going to start doing it, and guess what that does? It waters down the market. now you have to find some type of other way to get down. You have so many people that make plates and make candy fruit. It's crazy. Just in the metaphysics community, you have people who now sell crystals. You have people who do spell work. You have people who make candles. You have people who do tarot. You have people who do Reiki healing. You have people who do other types of healing. You have gematria. You have numerology. You have Western astrology. You have sidereal or Vedic astrology. You have draconic astrology. You have Chinese astrology. You have the people who only do whole house. You have the people who only do Placidus. And so you see this shit, and there's just all of these opportunities that open up. And so this is Uranus and Taurus. It's not the time to get comfortable. It's the time to get paid. You hear me? This ain't the time to get comfortable. It's the time to get paid.
Love you, Polly.
Now, the next thing we got to look at is Neptune. And Neptune is imagination, spirituality, but it's also confusion, delusion, and it represents the culture. And Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. So Neptune's right at home here. And man, that means we're more connected than ever, but we're more confused than ever. People bully you with compassion. And what do I mean by that? It means if you don't feel sorry for somebody's situation, then guess what? People are going to turn on you. They're going to attack you. This is where what's popular and what's trending has become way more important than what's right and what's real. But the problem is, real ain't even real no more. Real ain't even real no more. Your reality is a projection. And then it's also influenced by your perception of what that means. Yeah, it's not fundamental. It's convoluted. This is Neptune in Pisces. But Neptune is coming into that sextile with Pluto. So things are changing. Don't get it twisted. We're slowly realizing how powerful we are because of our connection. Right now, it's confusing. Right now, it's destructive. But over time, we start to realize, and it starts to become clear, that the people are more powerful than ever. And that starts a process of change. Now, right now, we don't see it, but with Pluto in Aquarius, we're slowly starting to realize things have changed. And as we progress into this retrograde that Pluto's in, we're going to realize more and more how much things have changed that quickly. This has been a crazy ass year. And so things have happened so quickly and so crazily that people are like, man, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen next. And that right there is a major change. People have an open mind. They're like, man, you better expect the unexpected. Pardon me. You better fucking expect the unexpected, because guess what? Your mind can get blown. It will get blown. That's the truth. Shit crazy. It really is. And it doesn't have to be anything that changed externally. It's the willingness to think differently. So as Pluto progresses into this retrograde, we're going to slowly but surely start to realize how much things have changed that fast. And that makes us even more open-minded because we realize, man, if all that happened that quickly, think about how much crazier this shit is going to get. And it's because of technology. It's because people's opinions are more powerful than ever. And right now, that's destructive and radical. But at some point, we're going to hit a method that's going to really help the whole world. And Pluto in Aquarius is a 20-year journey. So you better buckle up. This is the age of Aquarius, and shit is gonna get weird. That's the truth. My dog is going crazy in there. Hold on. I gotta stand up real fast. Now I'm back. What's up, my new UrAnUs? Welcome. We in this thing like a long ding-a-lang. Sun-kissed. Sun conjunct Uranus and Taurus. Moon ruled by the sun, but sitting in Leo. Just fine. Now, Chiron is at 21 degrees of Aries. And what Chiron is doing is forcing things. It's forcing your hand in a lot of situations. It's making things progress very quickly. It's irritating things. But what it's doing is making you have to deal with shit. It's bringing certain things into your awareness. That way you have to confront it. Whether you want to or not, you have to confront it. It is what it is. Take care of your shit. This is about awareness and accountability. That awareness and that accountability allow you to hold yourself responsible for wherever your feet on, which in turn, it allows you to take action towards healing. Yeah. Lamb, you got it right. The way out is through. That's what that was, cuz.
Sky.
Fine. Yeah. Chiron in Aries means awareness that allows for accountability. Accountability that allows for actions to take healing. So yeah. I just knocked my whole mic over, fuck it. Now, the next thing we got to talk about is the Black Moon Lilith. And the black moon Lilith is sitting at 24 degrees of Virgo. So with this, it's the small shit that fucks you up. It's little bitty shit that keeps you from enjoying your day. It's you missing the motherfucking forest because of the trees. It's you letting little bitty shit irritate you. And even beyond that, it's little bitty shit about other stuff that's starting to bother you. Other people that's starting to bother you. And you can see what's wrong with everything, but what you need to do is work on what's wrong with you. With the black moon Lilith in Virgo, you gotta be careful not to try to fix other people. Cause how the fuck you gonna go get a splinter out of somebody else's eye if you got a log in your own eye? I don't think you heard me. Yeah. This is also where people are being too real. So real that it makes them pessimistic. They're only seeing what's wrong. And that's a problem in this, right? Now, let that vibe seep in. Vibration is everything. Now, the North Node is sitting at 14 degrees of Aries. That means the South Node is at 14 degrees of Libra. So, with the North Node sitting here at 14 degrees of Aries, this is the universe telling you, hey, you got to do what's right for you regardless of what anybody else thinks about it. Sometimes being honest in your expression is the most healthy thing for your relationships. Get independent, get self-sufficient. You might realize you've been bonding over some karma or some trauma. And you're past it. You also might realize that you've been sugarcoating shit for too long. People pleasing. And now your life has taken a back seat. You might realize that you've been compromising too much. So now you've been settling for second best. And when you do that for long enough, you start to think you deserve it. So man, with the North Node in Aries, you gotta confront yourself. You gotta do what's right for you. You gotta experience your motherfucking truth as a verb. That means don't talk about it, be about it. Fuck with it. Fight with it. Live with it, die for it. This is where you realize you gotta stand for something or you're gonna fall for everything. Not just anything, but everything. Vibe. Yeah. Now, as far as the numerology of the day, we're in that 8 vibration today, but there is a 4 connotation. So let me explain how we got there. All right. Today is May 13th, 2024. So May is a 5. The 13th is a 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. 2024 is an 8. See, 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 4 is an 8. So 5 plus 4 plus 8 That makes 9 plus 8. That makes 17. 1 plus 7 is an 8. But it's the 4th. Matter of fact, it's a 13/4. So this day is about empowerment. And it can operate at extremes, but more than anything else, this is about empowerment. It's also about money. The 8 is gonna operate best in the financial arena. This is where you blouse up. You hear me? You got to boss up. This is where you assert yourself. The 1 is leadership potential. The 8 is boss type shit. Yeah. So, empowerment is on the menu today. Empowerment and legacy, and you can't waste it. See, that 13 means don't waste it. You better not waste it. Yeah. But you also can't sell out. You can't forsake your spiritual self for material gain. Don't do that. You better not do it. Yeah. I don't think you heard me though. Don't waste it, taste it. This is where you power yourself to success. Unless you're scared. But as we say in the hood, scared money don't make no money. That's the truth. Scared money don't make no money. And that is priceless knowledge of self. Yeah. And I think that's all I have to say about that. The floor is now open for another 30 minutes or so. So if anybody has any questions about astrology, I'm here for you. I'm willing to do anything to help you raise your vibration. Today, with the moon in Leo and the sun conjunct to Uranus and Taurus, this is about self-worth. So you have to let your confidence be your competence. Yeah. What you gonna do? And barring anything unforeseen, I should be here at some point tomorrow also. I have one numerology reading to do, and I'll do that early in the morning. And then I should be able to come with a top 5 or a top 10 tomorrow. What's my thoughts on Lilith in the first house in Capricorn? You're mean, you're sexy, but you're mean and you're dominating in situations. And you can't stand not being in control. But there's just something about you that people can't get enough of. There might even be a thing where people will pay you to be mean to them. There's also a thing where you're all about business. But that's sexy. You have a strictness that can be defining. With the Black Moon Lilith in the first house, people can sense it on you. And it's terrifying some people, but it's turning other people on. They want you to tell them what to do. They want you to control them. They want you to be mean to them, and you'll do it. It also tells me you can be a cold-blooded bitch when it comes down to it. But you're also a very responsible person. Life is very serious for you. Some people don't understand that. This shit is make or break. And you can't be broken. That's scorpionic vibes. Right. I'm gonna answer this one question, Watkins Cat House, but Sinistry is on Wednesdays. But Sinistry, 7th house, Lord, conjunct the rising. It depends on if you're saying that's Venus or what if because well, you have the ruler of the 7th house, which is Venus. But the 7th house Lord is also is gonna be whatever sign is there. And whatever sign is there, then you're gonna look at the ruler of that sign, and that's the Lord of your 7th house. So it depends on exactly what you mean. That is very terse terminology. Lilith and Capricorn in the 4th house. You were raised a certain type of way. You might have been abused, and that doesn't have to mean sexually abused, even though it can. But you were raised in a very strict household, and it made you tough, but it made you a little too tough to where you can be cold and you cannot give a fuck sometimes. And with Lilith in the 4th house, and especially in Capricorn, that speaks to where somebody was very controlling in your household, and somebody ruled with the iron fist, and that made you a certain type of way. Good move. You said, what's transit Jupiter and Taurus in the 2nd house, opposite natal and Pluto and Sagittarius in the 8th house mean? Life is certainly going to have its ups and downs, and how you respond to it is going to be everything. This is a time where things are operating at extremes for you, where you can definitely make some money, but you also could miss out on something that's right in front of your face. So these times right now are incredibly intense, and they're really extreme. But you have to figure out which extreme you operate from in that. All right. But there's definitely opportunities for money here. You just can't be looking for something that's sitting right there in front of you. So it takes an incredible amount of personal honesty to really know what's going on right now. That's the truth. But overall, that's a beautiful transit. It's still Jupiter and Pluto. And it's Taurus and Sagittarius. And so that is bringing a certain amount of value and optimism into the mix. But don't fool yourself. I appreciate the super chat, the wallflower. What about Lilith and Capricorn in the 3rd house? You were raised up rough. Whoever that is, and you take everything seriously in your mind. And you want to be the best, you want to be the smartest, you want to be in control of the situation. So because of that, you can be I don't want to say manipulative, but you can take control of situations. And you do it by putting people down, or whoever that is. If it's not you, they do it by putting people down and by telling them shit and by saying they're just keeping it real. And there's a certain way you go about it, but it's also because you were raised to be tough and you expect to be good at things, and because you in your own right, like, you just take everything serious. And so you can make a situation turn really fucking detrimental just because of your mindset on it. But yeah, Lilith and Capricorn in the 3rd house, he just he takes everything seriously. And for him, like, he wants to be the best at certain things, and he expects to be good at things. And so when he's not, it can create some insecurities. But you just have to be careful with him and the things he say, because he can't have ulterior motives, and he knows what to say to press certain buttons. So yeah, that was what it was, cuz. Yeah. Now, Watkins Cat House, you said South Node conjunct the moon. That would mean they have certain instinctive responses to stuff that they're kind of growing out of in this life. It means that there are certain behaviors and habits that they're really stuck in. And so there are certain ways that the universe is trying to push you out of those instinctive responses. So that's what that was. Thief. I'm the chief. And I'm telling you, you need a better personality. We got 25 more minutes. Let's make it count. What do I think of Mars and Virgo in the 12th house? I think you're a person who's very picky, but you're a perfectionist. And so you sometimes don't get anything done because you want to do it the right way and you want to make sure you're doing it perfectly. But other times you're a technician. Sometimes you're a complete professional or an amazing technician, but other times you get so entangled in the minutia that the situation decays around you and nothing gets accomplished. Fierce feminine. Yeah. Transit Sun conjunct transit Uranus. I already talked about that. You're gonna have to rewind it. Double A. I mean, this is a light shining on our individuality and our expression. So with this being in Taurus, you know, this is meant to make your confidence play out in competence. And it's you know, feeling good about yourself, or you doing something that's unique to you and watching how it pays off for you. What about Venus and Sagittarius? Venus and Sagittarius are very wise people, and they want to be involved with people that they can learn something from. But they also have a love of adventure and traveling, and they have a certain exotic taste to them. But another thing with Venus and Sagittarius is they're not necessarily loyal to people. What they're loyal to are principles. They're loyal to principles, not people. And that doesn't mean they're cheaters. It means they're loyal to certain principles. So if they decide, hey, I'm not a cheater, then they're not going to cheat on you. But if they decide you're not the one for them, then they're not going to ever take that relationship seriously. But all in all, they're fun people who are incredibly knowledgeable. They have a love of learning. They have a love of adventure. They respect wisdom. They themselves have an inherent wisdom. They love positivity. They love traveling. They have exotic taste. But their loyalty is to principles, not people. Sci-fi fantasy girl. You said Aries, Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Mars and Venus in Aries, Jupiter and Libra, Life Path 1. Do I have any advice for you? Yeah, you need to get a whole reading, baby. That's the advice I have for you. That's a lot to consider. But as an Aries, Sun, Scorpio, whatever you focus on, it's yours. You can literally do anything. It's whatever you're focused on. And I don't know what your desire is, but whatever you have passion about is got to be incredibly powerful. And your passion in itself is incredibly powerful. So you can make that pay off in a whole bunch of ways. All right. And as a life path 1, that's leadership. You're supposed to be in charge of something. So you need to start something. But what are you passionate about? That's what you have to ask yourself. What's up, Dougie? Fresh man, so clean. Oh, that's Billy. That's just fucking Billy. Jupiter and Gemini in the 5th house. My perspective that you're incredibly creatively talented, whoever that is. And if you're talking about transit, if Jupiter is coming into your 5th house as it comes into Gemini, then that means you're coming into an incredibly creative time in your life and a very communicative and social time in your life. But that's what I would say. That's a very clever and creative energy. And there's a multitude of talents that come there. And that's what makes that person so unique. And their confidence is infectious. And they're really fun. And they have a certain part of them that's remained a child forever. So that's forever young, forever clever, infinitely creative. Yeah, vibe. You feel that? Laser. This is that Leo moon, vibrational therapy. Welcome to the Vibe Tribe. You are now a part of the PrIcElEs family. Empty 12th house, ruled by Taurus. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say about they have an empty. I mean, their 12th house is ruled by Taurus. So with Taurus in the 12th house, they place a little bit too much value on material things, and sometimes their own self-esteem is caught up in what they have and not who they are. So that can be a problem. But with it being empty, that doesn't really change the dynamics of that very much. But that's what the 12th house there shows me, is that's a person who gets way too caught up in what they have and they forget about who they are. And that's their self-undoing. So they have to get by themselves and separate themselves from material things and really figure out what their self-worth is, separate from what they possess or what they own or what they feel like they're worth monetarily. Yeah. Can you feel that? Next question, please. We got 17 minutes to go. Then I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll make the most of that. Fine. Can I talk about why Aquarius sun is considered to be debilitated? Because with the sun in Aquarius, people are so caught up in other people that they forget about how special they are. You hear me? The sun is at home in Leo. That means it's a natural expression. It's confident. It's egocentric. It's prideful. It's self-centered. So with the sun in Aquarius, that energy gets so focused on external things and on other people that its own unique expression can be lost in the sauce. Sci-fi fantasy girl, you said somebody told you that people with Lilith and Scorpio are usually psychic. Do I agree? I feel like it can be. I don't think that's a major part of the interpretation, but they can definitely be very aware. I wouldn't even say psychic. I'd say very aware. They're a very hard person to get over on. But as far as foresight goes, I would have to look at other things.
Yo, don't come mess up my motherfucking piece because you can't find yours, you raggedy ass bitch. Yo, don't come mess up my motherfucking piece because you can't.
Bye. Hold on, let me turn this down.
Don't come mess up my motherfucking.
I gotta send this text, my bad. Now, Forrest Palmer, you said, what if Scorpio is missing in your birth chart? Like all the houses of the cusp of the 11 zodiac signs, but not Scorpio, because that means Scorpio is intercepted in your chart. Just what it means. It means Scorpio is intercepted. I would have to look at the chart to tell you what it really means for you personally. But yeah, it means Scorpio is intercepted in your chart. Yeah. And this is addiction. Mercury and Venus in the 8th house. Well, you're interested in what's going on behind the scenes. You like to look under the surface. You like to probe. And you find beauty in the bowels. But the problem is, when you're always probing deeper and deeper, sometimes you can miss out on the simple pleasures that everybody else enjoys that are on the surface. Sometimes you make it more intense than it has to be. You also have trust issues, so you're investigative. Now, are you smart? Yes. Are you sexy? Yes. But you're also investigative with trust issues. You also are somebody who has to make things more complicated than they need to be. You're somebody who has a hard time opening up. And when you do open up, there is no boundary with it. You're open all the way. And you expect the same. And sometimes that's not even possible. That's Mercury and Venus in the 8th house. But people can become obsessed with you. Just like you can be obsessive about certain people and certain things. If it hits deep enough, it becomes an obsession, an addiction. There's even some times where you don't want shit to go smooth because you're turned on by friction. Yeah, you a freak. But but you also have intrusive thoughts. Yeah. You get stuck in the depths. Then the pressure keeps pushing you down. And the feeling of that is addicting. You have a certain darkness, a certain hardness, a certain rawness. Everything you feel is visceral. Yeah. You have a probing mind. Now, what is cool about Venus being in the 8th house is your financial picture brightens at every major turning point in your life. So that's beautiful. You said, what are the good sides to Lilith and Aries in the 3rd house? That they're fearless. They're absolutely fearless. And they're unapologetically honest. But that can be reckless. But you asked about the good things. Fearlessness, passion, and rawness. Yeah. Just vibe. We got 9 more minutes. Let's make it count. And like I said, I should be back tomorrow. I can't guarantee it, but I should be here tomorrow. Somebody hit that CashApp. Somebody hit that super thanks, that super sticker, that super chat. Do something to make me feel good. What does Venus in the 6th house mean? That you have a love of service. It means you're somebody who can be relied on, but you can resent that. Now, Venus in the 6th house can also attribute to a negative health picture sometimes. Whether it's be because you're overindulgent or you're too loose with your routine, or be because you stress yourself out worrying about other people. So you have to help others, and in turn, it gives you perspective on what you need to do for you, and that's Venus in the 6th. And you said your 8th house is empty and has Virgo and Leo in it. And Mercury and the Sun in the 1st house. And you said dark houses interest you. When you say dark, you mean empty? I mean, it just means there's not a focus there. And there's not anything that's giving it direction or adding flavor to it as far as a placement. Yeah. Thank you for showing up today, Fierce Feminine. Like I said, barring anything unforeseen, we will be back at some point tomorrow for a 3-hour session. And we'll talk about a top 5 or a top 10, I'm not sure yet. But I'll also be here to offer any help that I may have in that capacity. Make sure you subscribe. Virgo moon in the second house. You're a practical person. You're a hard worker. You pay attention and take care of the stuff that nobody else wants to deal with. You're analytical and critical and technical, and you're meticulous about your finances. And you always somehow manage to keep a little nest egg tucked away, because that's what makes you feel safe, and you need that. Because you're a worrywart. But you also are very, what's the word I'm looking for? Observant. You're very observant. What does the 8th house Virgo mean? Virgo ruling your 12th house, it makes you, Virgo anywhere makes you analytical, but Virgo in your 8th house makes you an overthinker. But as far as the sexual aspect of that goes, having Virgo ruling your 12th house is really going to tell me that you get off on getting other people off. There's something about doing a job perfectly that turns you on. But there is certain instances where you let your mind get the best of you. And when things get crucial or you come into a crisis, you're somebody who realizes the devil is in the details. So what you do is dig into the small stuff that can be fixed. And it tells me you're a problem solver in the highest order. All of that. Just fine. Gentero, how you doing? You said, what about Leo sun and Aries moon? Oh, well, first of all, you're a warrior. You're very proud of who you are. And, you take everything personally. And that's not always a bad thing, because when it comes to standing up for yourself, or when it comes to the way people treat you, you take that serious. When it comes to what you want, you take that serious, and you're confident and courageous enough to go after whatever it is. Yeah. It tells me you're a passionate person. It tells me you're a fighter. Yeah, I know you. Uh-oh, Heather Nielsen, where the fuck you been? Y'all say what's up to the commissioner of the Vibe Tribe, Heather Nielsen. Yeah. Hey, we just got a few more minutes. Let's make it count. Double A. You said if a Leo sun or Leo rising stop messing with you, what would be the reason for that? Since it seems like they get along with everybody, they either they feel like you there's a few things. They can feel like you disrespected them. They can feel like you don't appreciate their presence. They can feel like you're not giving them enough attention. They can feel like you're hating on them. They can feel like you're getting more attention than them. It just depends on the context of y'all's relationship. Gentero. Oh, I thought you were asking me about Gemini, no. Everything is vibration. Cancer sun in the 7th house. That means that they have a certain way that they come across, but when they're in the presence of people that they love, that's where the nurturer comes out of them. That's where people see how much they care. That's when they can be emotional and in certain instances nurturing and protective and affectionate. But in other situations, because of this being in the 7th house, they let that outer shell show, and so they play tough, and they seem like they're a hard person to approach. But once they get close to somebody, they open up, and then people get that full softness, and then people get the full force of those emotions. When are you gonna catch a break? Aries, Sun, Scorpio, Moon. Never, because you're never gonna give yourself a break with that Scorpio Moon. You have so much stuff that you hold in with that Scorpio Moon that it's dangerous to you, and it makes life more complicated for you. And you have so many secrets. So many secrets. Yeah, I know you. Aries Sun people versus Leo Sun people. You mean in a fight? I mean, Aries Suns are less dramatic. Aries is selfish, Leo is self-centered. Leo, it's about pride. Aries is about desire. So there can be something a little bit more pretentious about Leo, but there can be something a little bit more reckless about Aries. Leo is going to be more loyal also. More loyal, more generous. They're self-centered, but they're not as selfish as Aries can be. Aries is probably a little bit more dangerous because Aries is a little bit more reckless. Aries is faster also. Leo is resilient. They always land on their feet. Aries says they ain't falling. Aries is more honest. Leo is more exaggerated. Virgo moon in the 9th house. They're an incredibly intelligent and wise person. They pay attention to everything. They're observant of everything. They want to learn everything they can. They're also probably athletic in some way, or they work out. And if it's not that, they're just really intelligent. They're really smart. They want to know all types of stuff about all types of different places. They probably read a lot. They probably are excellent listeners. But more than anything else, they're very observant. They don't miss anything. I'm talking about nothing. And they have photographic memories. So yeah, there's that. Yes, Leo is fixed. How tall are you, Heather Nielsen? Aries, Sun, Libra, Moon. Being born on that full moon cycle right there is very interesting because it tells me that you, in a certain way, you are selfish and you are impulsive, but there's still a part of you that isn't sure how you feel about that, and there's a part of you that needs other people still also. So there's that that conflicted element, and it tells me that you're sucking for a pretty face. You don't like being around stuff that's not attractive to you, with the Aries Sun and Libra Moon, and so being in an appropriate aesthetic environment is very very detrimental, or very not even detrimental. It's very imperative in you being in the right frame of mind. But other than that, it's not for them, it's for you. Even in your relationships, it's not for them, it's for you. And you're passionate, but you're also not emotional. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's the truth. Like, you're impulsive, but you're not emotional about it. And sometimes you spend a lot of time sitting back wondering why you just made the decision that you just made. Aries Sun Libra rising. That's Tigger's world. If that's you, that's also Tigger's world. But with the Aries Sun and the Libra rising, I mean, you have a certain amount of charm, but people just see what's on the surface. They don't realize how pushy you are, how glued into your own agenda you are. But there is a certain honesty that most Libra risings don't have when you have an Aries Sun there. And people are attracted to that. And people are attracted to you. They see the light in you. But I would also say you're a button presser. You know how to make people react a certain type of way. You invoke intense reactions in people. So yeah, I know you. So we just got a few more minutes. If you have any questions, let's get it out of your system. We finna go. I gotta eat dinner with my family. I'll be back tomorrow. Hit the like button. This was a little light work. Pluto in the 3rd house. That means you developed a lot faster intellectually or mentally than you did emotionally. And you can see people's motives before you even knew what a motive was. And so at best, it made you clever. At worst, it made you suspicious. And you love to observe people. You like to watch them so you can pick out why they're doing the things that they do. But you don't like letting people watch you because you feel like they're observing and they're judging you. And it also tells me you're painfully self-aware. Yeah. Miss Sharon to you. Just vibe. Expectations for Gemini risings when Uranus comes into their 1st house. Well, you don't even got to worry about Uranus for another year. What you need to do is worry about Jupiter here coming up soon. But yeah, when Uranus comes into your 1st house, I mean, something's going to change in your life. Something, or especially the way that you present yourself. And so that takes on a whole different dynamic expression. Now with Jupiter coming here, I just think that your confidence gets a boost. But yeah, Jupiter's going to come into Uranus first. I mean, Jupiter's going to come into Gemini first here in a couple of weeks. Uranus won't come into Uranus until next year. I said Uranus won't come into Uranus. Uranus won't come into Gemini until next year. Pardon me. Did I see the Northern Lights in my corner of Narnia? No. I looked for it, but I don't think I was looking right. I was looking for it with the naked eye. They told me that you had to look through your phone camera. And so I never looked through my phone camera. I only was looking with my eyes, and I never saw it. And I'm mad about that shit. Did you see him? She. You said Sagittarius Sun, Capricorn Ascendant, Gemini Moon, Libra Midheaven, a stellium in the first house with Venus, Jupiter, Neptune, and Mercury. I mean, what do you want me to say? You have a certain way that you come across, but underneath all of that, you're really a fun person and you're really adventurous, but you just seem like you take everything serious and you seem kind of strict. And that does weed out a lot of the bullshit, but it does also give people a misperception of who you are for real. Because you're really a highly intelligent person who wants to talk and communicate with people, but you have that old resting bitch face shit. So yeah, that is what it is. So, I think it's time that we go. So I appreciate everybody for your love and support. If any of y'all are interested in any astrological readings whatsoever, don't ever get at me in these comments. Get at me in my email, which is mr.turner1300@gmail.com. That's mr.turner1300@gmail.com. And I do birth chart readings, whether it be a 90-minute audio recording or a 2 or 3 hour phone call or a 2 to 4 hour Zoom session. I do Pluto through Aquarius transit journey readings where I look at Pluto's journey through Aquarius and all the transits it makes to your personal planets. And I haven't forgot you, Heather. I really had to let my voice rest. I couldn't record for a while. So I got you as soon as... here, I talk, and this is what happens. I talk for four or 5 hours and then I'm fucked up. So I got you. I have it ready to record. I haven't forgot you. Whether it be synastry readings, solar return readings, whether it be numerology readings, which is really hot right now. I've done about 20 or 30 numerology readings in the last few days here, really. Whether it be typed up or quick voice ones, because they're quicker. And those are about 30 minutes long. So I hope y'all are ready. Y'all get at me. I should be back tomorrow. I have some readings that I need to work on. I need to do a numerology reading. I need to work some on Heather's reading. But I will be back. All right? So y'all keep it chill till next time. I love you.